Good afternoon. Backyard Garden Pro with you here on a cool Saturday afternoon in January the 22nd. It is about 45 degrees here, and I have got tons of seed I want to talk to you about. I'm going to go through these seed here and review some of the information on the back so you can kind of be familiar with what the information on the seed mean. And then I'm going to do some planting here to get some of these frost-hardy varieties in my seed kits to get them going. Because what I want to do is try to get those in the ground by March the 1st. Get a good head start on them. Alright, the first thing I did here is went through my seed and sorted these seed out by the ones that are frost hardy and the ones that are not. If you look on the back of the packages here, there's a section that says frost hardy, and I went through, and all of these here are what's considered frost hardy, which means they will survive typically down to about 25 degrees. So here in northwest Louisiana, these should be pretty good. I'm going to start out here going over this. I'm not really sure what this is. Never have grown a lot of these things here, but I wanted to try it this year. It's similar to I guess a red cabbage. Not sure how to pronounce that, but it's a Radicchio. If you turn the seed on the back here, the package, it says sprouts in 5 to 10 days. Ideal temperature 45 to 75 degrees. Seed depth 1/4 inch. Plant spacing 12 inches apart. Frost hardy, yes. Minimum full sun 6 to 12 hours. So the main things I'm looking for here, whether it's frost hardy, yes, and then the ideal temperature. Here in Louisiana, it'll get 75 degrees fairly early, and it can be really hot in April. And what I want to do is get these things in the ground, get them growing before it gets too hot. Because these things, these frost hardy vegetables, most of the ones I've got here have ideal temperatures that are much cooler than what our hot summers are. So if it gets 95 degrees, something like this right here, or the Brussels sprouts here, really won't do very well. But also on the back of the package here, it's got some planting instructions. It says here, prefers rich, well-drained soil, directly sow early for a spring harvest or in July for a fall harvest. Best when planting is time to mature in cool weather. So again, I want to get these in the ground possibly late February, early March to get these, give them time to mature before it gets too hot. But again, this is something here I never have grown. I'm going to try it here. Next, I've got Brussels sprouts. Something else I haven't grown. I typically have grown just standard vegetables that you see around, the Walmart stores and whatnot. But wanted to try some things different this year here. But this is a Brussels sprouts, the Long Island Improved. Again, if you look on the back here, ideal temperature is 50 to 75 degrees. Frost hardy, yes. Also the sprouts in 7 to 10 days. That's important for you when you plant these things in the packs. You can kind of get an idea of when these things should be sprouting. And again, right here it says planting instructions. Best planting in midsummer for a fall harvest. Sow seeds or plant transplants into rich soil in full sun with abundant moisture. So these plants here like a lot of moisture. Best when harvested after a light frost. So really, the Brussels sprouts are best to be planted in the fall, but again, I've got a lot of seed here. I'm going to try to plant some here in the spring and save some of these seed here for later on in the fall also. I'm not going to read all these packs here, but again, I've got celery, Chinese white. Looking at the back, again, ideal temperature is 50 to 75 degrees. Frost hardy, yes. Sprouts in about 15 to 20 days. So again, I've got some vegetables here that sprout in 7 to 10, and the celery sprouts in about 15 to 20, so it takes quite a longer time to sprout. And then I've got some kale, which I do grow, but I have typically about the plants already growing from either like a Walmart or Home Depot or Lowe's. But the kale here, ideal temperature, can stand a little more heat, 45 to 85 degrees, and sprouts fairly quickly, 6 to 9 days. And this is a mustard, but it's kind of a purple-looking mustard here, Japanese giant red. So again, I grow mustard fairly regular, but have never tried anything like this. And this mustard here, again, all of these frost-hardy vegetables enjoy the cooler temperature. So its ideal temp range is 55 to 70. Sprouts very quickly in 5 to 8 days. Again, it's got some information on it. Beautiful, large, Japanese type. Purple-red leaves with delicious, strong, sharp, almost garlicky mustard flavor. So again, when I read that, I said, I got to try this stuff here. So So these right here, these are Mammoth Red Mango Beets. This is something here that's not really intended to be eaten. If you do a little bit of research, you find these things here are grown and typically chopped up and used for cow feed and whatnot. But when I saw the little girl here and the size of this thing, again, I said, you know what, I got to try this. But again, looking at the back here, 50 to 85 degrees, so they can take a little more heat. Sprouts in 14 to 21 days. And you know what? If the cow can eat it, if I can grow these things here, I'm going to just taste that thing myself too, just to see what it's like. And this is a strawberry spinach. Never have grown it, but looks really neat. If you turn around the back here, it says an old-fashioned plant that dates back to the 1600s in Europe, produces greens used like spinach, also yields attractive red berries that are nice in fruit salads. So with this right here, you get some berries and also the leaves to eat, just like spinach. So ideal temperature, 45 to 75, and sprouts in 7 to 14 days. These are, I usually call these early spring peas, but they just have little marvel peas on the pack here. Again, ideal temperature, 45 to 80, sprouts in 10 to 30 days. So these things here could be in your container for up to 30 days before they do sprout. Also, you want to pay attention to the plant spacing. It's not really important when I'm putting them, when I'm growing them in my little seed kits here, but when I get ready to plant them, I want to make sure that I do space these things out properly to give the each plant the room and space it needs to grow and really mature and do very well. And the good thing about Baker Seeds, they do send some free seed with you, and this is something here. It's called Suhao Baby Bok Choy, and I've never grown bok choy. It's a Oriental greens, but I've seen on some of the Facebook pages and whatnot that a lot of people enjoy these. So again, I'll give these a try here. I've got 2 packs, and on these packs right here with the free seed, there's not the information that I've needed, but I did some research, and these are frost hardy vegetables here, so I'm going to plant these with all of the others. So that's what I'm going to be planting here, hopefully, again, like I say, today or tomorrow. And now I want to go over some of the seed I'm going to be planting here probably the 1st of March in my seed kits, and plan to get these things in the ground sometime around, Good Friday, sometime around the 1st of April or so, maybe the first week of April. But again, I've got tons of stuff here, and I hope I've got enough room in my garden. If I don't, I'll just have to plant some and then kind of just wait and maybe plant some later on. But start out here with some of the peppers. And again, I love peppers. They call me the pepper man here because I really enjoy them and have done a really good job growing peppers. But again, these were just really, really pretty. Kind of looks like a bell pepper that's kind of twisted, but it's called a Cuadrado de Asti Rosa pepper. And again, if you look at the back here, the ideal temperature is 70 to 95, so these can take the summer heat. Sprouts in 7 to 10 days, planting about 14 to 18 inches apart. And again, that's very important when you're looking at pepper for the distance, because depending on how big and broad the leaves get, you want to make sure they have enough room for the plants to get the sun that they need, and you don't get too much shadowing from the leaves and from another plant that may be too close. This pepper here just was very pretty. It says very thick, brilliant red flesh, has delicious, rich, sweet taste, excellent for frying, salads, or stuffing. So that's pretty cool. And this one right here, again, a lot of these peppers I never have grown, but I wanted to try them. This is called a Bueno Mulata pepper. Really pretty purple color here. Never have grown it, but wanted to try it. And again, most of these peppers here, if you notice, it says frost hardy no. So any frost that comes along, if it's 35 degrees, 36, 37 light frost, it will bite these. And if it does get down to 32, it'll kill these things very, very quickly. But again, ideal temperature is 70 to 95. This pepper here is, it says, a historic variety from African-American folk artist Horace Pippin, a chameleon-like pepper, violet to pinkish flesh, then orange to brown, then deep red. Long, round pod, 6 to 7 inches, unique flavor. So I can't wait to get this thing growing here so I can taste that. Next pepper I've got here, again, I can't pronounce these things here, but it's a Javarsky pepper. Looks really pretty. Never have grown this one, but again, ideal temperature for all these peppers is typically 70 to 95 degrees. Peppers do really well here in the winter, the summertime. They can take 100 degrees, but if it gets too hot, the leaves will start to wilt. 18 inches planting apart, again, frost hardy no. This is an amazingly fragrant, Macedonian roasting pepper, stocky 2-foot plants covered in 6 to 7 inches, rich red pods. And as the picture shows here, rich red pods, really nice. This one is called lipstick pepper, a very pretty pepper, and I am guilty of purchasing seed based on the photos. I said I saw that, and I got to try that. But again, if you look at it, it says 4-inch long tapered pimento type fruit, super sweet, early and ripens well in the north, thick red flesh. An ideal temperature, 70 to 95. So those are ideal for our area here. And I saw this, it says lemon spice jalapeno. So again, man, got to try that. Jalapeno with a little lemon. And let's see what it says on the back here. It says a sunny lemon yellow variety. We're bred using natural back-crossing techniques, resulting in an extra spicy and super eye-catching fruit. Ornamental and extremely prolific, well adapted to the hot, dry New Mexican climate. So that should be interesting to grow too and see that thing mature. And these little peppers here, again, kind of look like little gourds to me, so I had to buy the seed. This is called a Bequinho yellow pepper. Information on it says here it matures in 80 days, which is about 3 months. A tiny yellow Brazilian pepper, tangy and sweet with just a hint of heat, so this should be very good. I love peppers that I can just go out and pick in the garden and eat on its own. It says here one plant will produce an average of 100 little peppers and will grow up to 24 inches. That's the plant, not the peppers. They can be eaten fresh, but are really preferred pickled in vinegar, so I'll have to try that. And here is a Tobago seasoning pepper. Really pretty colors, variety of colors. Let's see what it says here. A traditional ingredient in jerk seasoning in the Caribbean. Gorgeous scarlet peppers reach 2 to 3 inches long with just a hint of heat, but mostly sweet. So again, I love hot, but I love sweet also. Delivers the fruity overtones of a habanero, but with much less heat. So that'll be great. I've grown habaneros in the past and done very, very well, but I can just eat just the tip of a habanero because they're so hot. So this here will have the little, to me, a smoky habanero flavor and then some sweetness to it also. So looking forward to that. And then I've got yellow monster peppers, and these, if they grow like the picture shows here, they should be really nice. These are like a bell pepper, but my plan here is to grow these things here and get them as large as the pictures and then cut them open and stuff them with ground turkey and rice and just enjoy the heck out of that. So on the back here it says behemoth yellow bell peppers can grow 8 inches long by 4 inches wide. Impressive sunshine yellow fruits. And again, all of these here, just a reminder, ideal temp is 70 to 95 degrees. Frost hardy, no. So most of these here are all the same as far as the planting and the temperature range. And these are called Chinese 5-color peppers. And all these peppers here are new for me. I haven't tried these, but again, just wanted to do something different this year here. It says here, gorgeous, edible, ornamental, perfect for containers. Hot little peppers turn a rainbow of vibrant colors from purple through cream, yellow, orange, and finally to red. So I guess depending on when you pick these, you can get a variety of colors. So that'll be really neat. And here's one that says sweet chocolate pepper. So it's kind of a brownish color. Let's see what it says on the back. It says flesh is cola red color, very sweet and delicious. Medium-sized semi-bells ripen very early. So not much about the flavor, so I'm assuming this is going to be more like a bell pepper, but we will give an update here in a few months. Then I've got these lemon drop peppers, which I thought were very attractive. On the back says here, seasoning pepper from Peru ripens to a clear lemon yellow. Amazing fruity hot flavor, great for hot sauce. 2-foot plants are covered with lemon yellow, thin-walled conical fruit reaching 2 to 3 inches long. So this should be very, very good pepper here too. And then the last pepper is just a Lasia pepper. Again, just the colors here and the shape of it look really neat, so I thought I'd try this too. It says here, believed to be the sweetest of all peppers and with the thickest flesh we've ever seen. Lasia is a total crowd pleaser with intensely juicy texture. Plants are stocky and high yielding and altogether rugged and easy to grow pepper. So this sounds like really a beginner pepper. If you're out here trying to find something to start with, maybe try this one here. Not too hot, very thick skin, and should be easier to grow. But I'm going to have all these peppers growing here, and then I will also get some regular green bell peppers and some jalapenos and try those too. But that's what I've got for peppers. Next review here is on some tomatoes. And again, I have grown tomatoes from seed, but all these tomatoes here are first timers for me. I'm going to start out with the Granny Cantrell tomato. I thought these looked kind of like a pumpkin, so I said I'm going to try that. So let's see what it says on here. The tomatoes are typically, it says here, frost hardy, no. Ideal temperature range 75 to 95 degrees, very much like the peppers. So spacing 24 inches apart. Again, with tomatoes, the plants get very big, so you want to make sure you have enough room that these things can grow and broaden the leaves out. So this says here, Granny Cantrell tomato, named after Letty Cantrell, who received them from a returning World War II veteran. Though selectively breeding in eastern Kentucky, she crafted this highly productive variety. And I've got some of Aunt Ruby's German green tomatoes, and I wanted to see if these things, when they actually mature, if they taste like a ripe tomato, but the color is actually green. So never have grown a tomato that is mature when it is green, so we'll see here. But ideal temperature range is 75 to 95 degrees. Frost hardy, no. So none of these tomatoes here, they're just like the peppers. If it gets down to 35, 36 degrees, a light frost will damage them. And if it gets down to freezing, it will kill them dead. So let's see what we say here. Aunt Ruby's German green tomato, among the largest green beefsteak. So this is like a beefsteak tomato, but a green one. A brilliant neon green flesh, strong, sweet, and fruity flavor. So maybe it does mature and taste like a regular tomato if it's sweet, even though it's going to be green. So pretty neat. Then I've got the tomato, the Cherokee Purple, and I had comments on this one here. It seems like a lot of people have tried this one in the past and had luck with it. What does it say here? Cherokee Purple tomato. This is a pre-1890 Cherokee Indian heirloom. Beautiful, deep, dusky, purple-pink color. Superb sweet flavor, very large fruit, a customer favorite. So very large fruit. What I want to do is grow this thing and take one slice across there and put it on a piece of bread. Just have one slice of tomato for a tomato sandwich. Add a little salt and pepper and mayonnaise and enjoy. And then this one here looked pretty neat. This is called a Berkeley tie-dye green tomato. And what it says is discovered in a planting of Beauty King. Incredibly colorful, delicious large fruited slicers, 1 pound fruit striped green and red, superbly flavored. So we'll see how these things work too. But again, that's a pretty nice looking tomato. And this is not really a tomato, but it's a family of tomato, Tomatillia verde, the green Tomatillia. I enjoy these in salsa, but never have grown them. It says here, deep green fruit, a standard richly flavored type, huge yields, as with most tomatillas. So again, never have seen these things grow. I'm not sure. It's going to be neat to see. I guess this is like a hull or something that grows around it, but I'll have pictures of this as I get it in the ground and as it grows. So that's what I've got for tomatoes. All right, this year we're going to try a few different types of corn. I will stick to my just regular yellow sweet corn for putting in the freezer and just for eating and everything. But I saw these and thought it was pretty neat. This first one here is called Dakota Black Corn. And it does say here on the package, overpacked due to low germination, 71% on 620. So what that's telling you there, just be aware if you see anything like that, that means that not all the seed are going to germinate. So really about 3 out of 4 seed will germinate. So you're going to lose a lot of the seed on this, but this pack here is pretty full. But it says here, tasty popcorn, and that's what caught my eye here. I'll grow these here and let the ears grow and mature, and then let them dry, and then take the kernels off the cobs and see if these things actually do turn into popcorn. But it says, tasty popcorn, dark reddish black ears are attractive for decorations. Easy grower, succeeds almost anywhere. So it doesn't say much about the flavor and everything, so this may not be very sweet corn, since it says it's good for decorations and popcorn. But I'm going to try it anyway, see what we have. Next is Wade's Giant Indian Corn. I'm going to zoom in here, see the nice colors on that. I never have grown Indian corn, but he thought it would be neat to add. And this says, perfect for stunning autumn displays and for selling at market. Huge ears up to 12 inches long, very thick and heavy, comes in a range of decorative colors. On these corns here, both of these here, I failed to read anything on the back here, but the corn doesn't take the temperature range. These I call them ornamental corns. The ideal temperature is 75 to 80 on both of these here. Frost hardy, no. Again, both of these here, if you get frost, it will damage or kill the corn. So that's what I've got for corn. I do have a few other things here. Again, when I was going through the online website at Baker Creek Heirlooms, I said, I've got to try that. So again, I have no idea what a bitter melon is, but it looked pretty neat. And then when I read about it here, it says an extra large light green heirloom from Japan. Fruit is large and uniform with a great flavor. The bitter melon is a dietary staple on the island of Okinawa, famous for its people's longevity. So ideal temperature range is 75 to 90. Frost hardy, no. So again, some of these things here are grown, like this one is more of a Japanese grown vegetable. May not do anything here in Louisiana, but you know, a couple $dollars for a pack of seed. It's worth a shot. And this right here is a cucumber. It's called a Sikkim cucumber. And again, it just looked really neat here. Never have grown this. And again, most of what I have here I have not grown. So this is going to be a very exciting year for me. It says here, the historic cucumber of Sikkim, documented by Sir Joseph Hooker in 1848. Ripe fruit is a unique rusty red color, used cooked or raw, tasty in stir fries. So even though the skin looks kind of rough, when the inside looks more like a regular cucumber, so that should be pretty tasty. And then this one right here looks more like something you'd see growing at the bottom of the ocean, but it's called a jelly melon. I guess Kiwano jelly melon. And it says here, ideal temp is 75 to 90 degrees. Frost hardy, no. An unusual looking fruit with spiny horns that hail from Africa. Green-yellow skin ripens to orange, and electrifyingly sweet and sour, fruity pulp resembling green jello. Adaptable to a wide growing range and extremely prolific. So when I read that online, I said, I'm going to try this and see if it'll grow here in Louisiana. So again, that's called a jelly melon. Really neat looking product there. And this is Ginger's Pride melon. So we'll see what this is. And it looks more like a cantaloupe to me with maybe something crossed. But when I read about this here, it says, sent to us by a retired minister from Indiana whose family grew it for generations. The largest we carry. Huge oblong fruit averages 14 to 22 pounds. Fresh, very sweet, excellent quality. So these are pretty large, 14 to 22 pounds. So I said, I got to try that, see if I can grow something that large. This is called a Chinese lantern. I actually never have even heard of this. But when I look at it here, it says ideal temperature is 70 to 80 degrees. So this is something that's a little better suited for cooler temperatures, but it is not frost hardy, so I've got to wait on this. And based on the temperatures here in Louisiana, it may not be tolerable to the hotter temperatures we have. But this says decorative lanterns are lovely in arrangements. Fruit is also good, used like common ground cherries, an extra large variety that is popular at farmers markets. So I think once they mature, you peel this back and there's fruit inside of it, or something like a fruit. It's going to be similar to a cherry, so that should be exciting. Got some eggplant. I grow eggplant every year. This is just a different variety called a Matoya variety. I liked it because it was a real broad-looking eggplant, which should be very good to cook in the oven. And it says here, Matoya eggplant traditionally grown in the Matoya and Kanuho areas of Japan. Large fruit is oval to teardrop shaped and nearly black. Flesh is very tender and sweet. Ideal temperature 75 to 95 degrees, so it should do well here. Soybeans or edamame. I enjoy eating edamame. So I grew some probably 4 or 5 years ago, and it did very well. I had enough that I could actually put some in the freezer. But says here, ideal temperature 65 to 90 degrees. Frost hardy, yes. So I may end up planting some of that early. It says here 80 days, which is a mature the maturity cycle for it. Superior flavor and vigorous growth have it. Highly regarded in Japan for its sweet flavor, perfect for edamame, soy milk, tofu, and more. Homesteaders for home gardeners, beginner soybean with amazing flavor. Dried seed is black in color. So that should be really good too. And final seed here is the autumn zebra pole beans. I just like these because of the color and the stripes on the seed here. We'll see how they look, and then the actual hull of the bean looks really pretty too. It says here a vibrant and colorful striped green bean or dried bean, a Japanese variety that is highly gourmet and refined. And this one is frost hardy? No, so got to get that planted later on in the year around Good Friday or so. But that's the seed I've got this year. Again, I want to stick to some of the normal things that normally grow too, but I wanted to try some things different and have these things on video for you. So y'all stick around and keep up with my video here. Follow and sign on to my page. And we will see you next time. I'm going to be making a video here shortly on getting some seed in my Jiffy seed starting greenhouse kit.